This is the men's 100-meter finals predictions, so put your money on what I'm about to say. But let's go over the top contenders. Starting off with Lyles Tebogo. So Lyles Tebogo, he's the best, not the best, but the most talented, the most potential runner in the world right now. He can run the 100. He's a silver medalist. He can run the 200 in 1950, which is absurd. If no Lyles didn't exist, he would be the fastest runner in the world. Oh, besides Area 9, of course. And then 300-meter world record and a sub 45 400. Lyles Tebogo is a threat in any race. He's a contender. And honestly, his only limiting factor this season is the death of his mom. That's going to be on his mind no matter what. And his arm swing, when he's running, he looks like he's jogging so fast. And I think he's limiting his power output as he's running because of that arm swing. Like, if you look at Noah Lyles' arm swing and running, it's the perfect running form, in my opinion. And he maximizes all of his power with that arm swing. So if Lyles Tebogo can fix that, then he would have been higher on my list. But let's go on the next guy, Fred Kerley. Fred Kerley is like the Terminator. He's always going to be a threat. He's a proven champion in multiple different levels, NCAA, world champion, almost Olympic champion, and this year it looks like he might get it. He's ran 9.76. He has the fastest personal best out of anybody in this Olympics. So if Fred Kerley's on his A game, he's top 2 automatic. So watch out for Fred Kerley. Then we got Kenny Bednarek. So Kenny Bednarek is that guy who's always had the potential to be a champion, but there's like one thing missing. I don't know if it's his confidence, his personality, his injuries. It's maybe a combination of all that. He just hasn't embraced the spotlight like he should have. And if he had done that earlier, I think he would have been a champion a few years back. But this year he looks healthy. He looks confident. He's posting stuff on his social media page, anime. He's talking more in the interviews for once. He's no longer a robot. And it's showing in his performances. It's reflective of what he's able to do this year. And I got to say, Kenny Bednarek is going to get a medal in the 100 or 200. He's not going to leave the Olympics without a medal. He's that good. So I would place my money on Kenny Bednarek getting a medal. Guaranteed bet. Next, we go with Akani Simbine. So Akani Simbine, in my opinion, is the best loser in the last decade of track and field. He is the number one. Like, you cannot discredit him for that. So what I gotta say to that is, Akani Simbine is never last, and he's never top 3. He's mediocre of the elite, if that's the best way to put it, because he's consistently 4th, 5th, 6th. He's in that middle range. So he's the gatekeeper of elite sprinting of the top 3, if you know what I'm saying, right? MMA terms. So Akani Simbine, he's good. If nobody's on their A game, Akani Simbine could win this Olympics. But I expect at least 2 other guys in this list to be at their peak, and for that reason, Akani Simbine might not even medal. But he is running faster than ever, so he might change that this year. So better watch out for him too. And then Benjamin Richardson, to be honest, I don't even know who that guy is, so let's skip him. Oblique Seville. Oblique Seville, I remember watching YouTube videos about him being a 16-year-old running 10-1 with this weird form, like he's doing high knees down the track and he's gliding. It's crazy to me still. As his form's changed, though, it's better. But Oblique Seville he's the babyface killer. That's all I gotta say. Oblique Seville is like the mini version of Asafa Powell. Aggressive start. I like his running form, but he has to finally get his mind straight and lock in and be a killer, because he has all the potential in the world. Since Christian Coleman is not in this Olympics, he's the best starter. So by default, he should not be in the bottom 4 of the Olympic final. And if he can just execute a perfect race plan and maximize his potential, Oblique Seville can very well win this Olympics, but he's going to have to execute the perfect race. He's not the favorite, but he's definitely a contender for a medal. And then we got Noah Lyles, the reigning defending 200 and 100 meter world champion. For any other sport, he would definitely be the favorite, especially since you're coming off the double. But this year, there's just guys who are faster than him. Specifically, one guy, and I'll get into that later. But Noah Lyles, despite being a double world champion, I think that's overrating him in a way, because last year was a weak year in the 100 meters. Nobody went 9.7. They were all 9.8s, and that just shows me that Noah Lyles can be a champion in a year where everyone's good but not great. If it's a year where everyone's running great, Noah Lyles will be in the mix, but he's not going to be the champion. But the thing about Noah Lyles is he's always, or almost always, is going to be at his peak and execute good races when it matters, because he's a proven 3-time world champion in the 200 and a 100 meter champion from last year. So that's something that you can't take away from Noah Lyles. He's a veteran. He's a proven winner. But this is the biggest stage, and this is the Olympic year. So there's already guys who are peaking higher than Noah Lyles, and Noah Lyles is going to have to run the race of his life. He's going to have to go from good to great in order to win this Olympic gold. But I still won't count him out, because if the other guys who I think will be gold medalists, if they aren't at their peak, Noah Lyles will win this Olympics, as much as I hate to say it, which I'll go into later. All right, Ferdinand Omanyala. Ferdinand Omanyala is like the bank. No, not the bank. He's the robber that's robbing the bank, right? Fraud. That's what I gotta say. Fraud alert. Ferdinand Omanyala, always running a 9.7. Out of nowhere, in the middle of the season, you're like, what the hell? This guy's gonna take over. But it's always in Kenya. It's always at altitude where, you can just wake up and run at the track. But he's no-show. He no-shows at every championship meet. As far as I can remember, he's never even won a medal. So Ferdinand Omanyala, he's a ghost. He ghosts you. That's all I gotta say with a smile. So maybe if the Olympics were in Kenya, then Ferdinand Omanyala would definitely be a top 2 favorite. But this is Paris. Hey, he might still win because, a lot of black people live there, and, same, time zone as Kenya almost. So he actually can show up, maybe. Now, Kishane Thompson. Kishane Thompson is the next generation. He's the current and the future, based on what I've seen this year. We have not seen a runner. Think about it. We have not seen a runner do what Kishane Thompson has done since Usain Bolt. Jamaican trials, 9.84, 9.82, 9.77. Think of all the other top runners in the world who have done that. The only other guy who has run heats and a final like that is Fred Kerley. But Fred Kerley hasn't even run 9.7 in the championship final. He did it at the U.S. trials, but not at the World Championships. And Kishane Thompson overall put three faster performances than Fred Kerley when Fred Kerley won his 2022 World Championship. And Kishane Thompson looked like he wasn't even trying. So something tells me Kishane Thompson is going to shock the world. So having said that, here are my top 3 medalists. So number 1, we got Kishane Thompson, aka Goku, based on his profile picture. Look at this guy. Look at those biceps, those shoulders. He's at 6% body fat, clean beard. This guy looks like he should win. Even the eyebrows. That's crazy. I don't see any flaw in a marketing perspective, aside from that hairy chest, that nothing's telling me he shouldn't be a champion. And Kishane Thompson this year is going to pull off what Usain Bolt did in 2008. I don't think he's going to run 9.5, but Kishane Thompson, I think, is going to run 9.66 or 9.67 based on what I saw. Because he was toying with Lyles Tebogo this past month in a race. And Lyles Tebogo was holding back, but Kishane Thompson was like holding back even more, which is scary. And Kishane Thompson has done what no other runner has done since probably Usain Bolt or Fred Kerley, which is run rounds in under 9.84 or faster. So the shape he's in, his build, his profile, his aesthetics, his looks, everything is telling me that he is going to take over the world and be the face of track and field. So this is your new Olympic gold medalist, Kishane Thompson. And in second place, and this second place guy, I'm not going to lie, he might be first place if he's in that mode, Terminator mode, and that's Fred Kerley. Fred Kerley, a.k.a. Phase 42, but he never even reached it. When will we see that? Probably never. But Fred Kerley, when he's in the zone, he backs up what he says. And this year, through all the troubles with the sponsorships and lack of racing, traveling, Fred Kerley looks like he's finally said, I've had enough of the disrespect, and he's going to show the world that he's here to claim the throne and get the Olympic gold that Marcel Jacobs took from him in Tokyo. Think about it. If Fred Kerley would have won that Olympic gold, we could potentially be talking about Fred Kerley winning back-to-back Olympic gold medals. He would be known as one of the greatest top 2 Olympic American 100-meter sprinters in history, and he was a 400 guy. He was this close from literally being GOAT status. So Fred Kerley, do not dismiss him. If he's at his best, him and Kishane Thompson are going to cross at the finish line neck and neck. Actually, if they're both at their best, I still think Kishane Thompson is going to have a meter on him, because that's how good Kishane Thompson is this year. I don't even think Fred from 2022 would beat Kishane Thompson this year, which is absurd to say in my opinion. But still. And in third place, we have, who do you think? As much as it pains me to say it, I think Noah Lyles is going to be third place. Noah Lyles, because Noah Lyles, despite losing to Oblique Seville, who is my fourth place finisher, shoot, not even fourth place, but we'll talk about that. But Noah Lyles is going to be third place because Noah Lyles, he's champion, he's running consistently, and he's getting closer and closer to the 9.7 range. He's only 0.02 away, and if he had a good tailwind in that last race in London, he would have ran potentially a 9.75 with like a 1.0 tailwind. And if he had a 2.0 tailwind, guys, we're talking about 9.71. That's an American record. And he beat everyone else in that race by a good margin. So his speed is not a fluke. He's consistently running at his best, and his best is not enough to win the gold medal, but it's getting to a point where if he's at his best, he's winning every major championship no matter what, because no one else has that speed. He's not there yet, but he's going to get there soon. So those are my top 3. Kishane Thompson, Fred Kerley, and then Noah Lyles. There's some doubt in Noah Lyles because that third place, everyone's running so good this year. But I'm going to go with Noah Lyles just because I don't think he's going to let down people like he did in Tokyo. So Noah Lyles, third place. Respectable third place behind the 2 guys that have faster PRs and a proven world champion, Olympic silver medalist, and Kishane Thompson, the next phenom of track and field. So Those are my top 3. And then everybody else, you can mix it up. Kenny Bednarek can honestly get up to 3rd place, in my opinion. No higher than that. Maybe 2nd place if he gets lucky, but he's not winning gold. Latila Tobogo, he's going to drop from his 2nd place runner-up last year to about 6th place. And, in fact, I think Akani Simbine is going to beat Latila Tobogo. Akani Simbine has probably had enough of losing, and he's going to beat Latile, but not even medal. So, there we go. That's the top 3 100-meter medalists for this year.